Hey fam, I need you to watch this entire video because it shows the relationship between Miss Robbie, Tim, and money. It also shows why Tim went the route of having his nephew snuffed out, and he goes as far as to mention the exact amount needed. Listen closely. With Tim Norman's upcoming sentencing for his victim, Andre Montgomery, some of us have forgotten that not only did he have a hand in the demise of his nephew, the grandson of Miss Robbie and son of Michelle Griggs, but he also has contributed to leaving two black boys without their biological father. Towards the end of the show, he introduced us to Janae's replacement, a nurse who managed to get pregnant, who took to social media to share the good tidings. Well, she had the baby, and as a result of the show ending, the viewers didn't get to see their journey, but they posted on social media some of the joys of co-parenting. Throughout the trial, it was highlighted that he was financially wealthy, according to his attorney. But we found out that that was not the case, according to the prosecutor. I say all this to say, did you all know that Tim's second baby's mother had to file for child support for his newest son? Why I bring this up, it's because it speaks to the character of Tim Norman. The fact that he posted about his cars and several cell phones and all these things. But when it came to taking care of his offspring, his son, the judicial system yet again had to intervene. Now, as far as a relationship with Miss Robbie, meaning whether or not this new grandchild has any relationship with her, that remains to be seen. Because if you recall, there were some areas of contention between her, Miss Robbie, and Janae pertaining to Tim's firstborn. Take a listen.
My problem is with me and Janae. It has nothing to do with Tim. So why all of a sudden that you putting out there that now Tim was in town to see his baby and you wouldn't let him? So it's all about the money, because if you was with a dude that wasn't working, didn't have a job, you wouldn't be going through all this. So either you're trying to get more media attention or whatever. I'm not in the fight. I've tried to stay out of you and Tim's life, but right is right. And I've tried to tell you what's right, and I've tried to tell Tim what's right. But now that you wouldn't let me see my grandbaby on a day that I thought I was going to do it, because I keep that baby all the time. So now it seems to me that when it's convenient for you, you let him come over. So you knew I had waited all day to see that baby. If it wasn't but for 15 or 20 minutes, I had bought him a motorcycle.
And according to Tim, Janae was a woman of ill repute when he posted this video.
Now you put me in a position where I got to defend myself because you got my 80-year-old mother out here on the internet going back and forth, and you keep on calling her house, screaming at her, asking her why she's speaking the truth. Well, I got to speak the truth myself, you know, and you want to put me and paint me out to be a deadbeat dad. Why don't you tell people how the last time I picked my son up, I had him for an hour and a half, and you started blowing me up to bring him back because he had to do his homework and take a bath. And as I get to the house, I take him out of his car seat. He run to you. You stand in the garage. He runs into you. I'm bent over in the car. I'm getting his Happy Meal and his toys I bought him in his backpack. You let the garage down on me, and the police come out of the backyard. You had the police waiting on me in the backyard when I was coming to drop my baby off. You set me up. You don't do that to no black man. You don't do that to no man, especially a man that spent half his life, spent 10 and a half years in prison. There's nothing there's nothing you can do to make me ever forgive you for that. As far as child support, as far as me being a deadbeat, why don't you give me my change? Talking about a court order. Talking about a court order. Why don't you tell everybody how when we was going to court, you was threatening to tell all about me and my mama business about the different things we own, and this bank account there here and this bank account there. After the IRS and already came and got us for $500,000. After the IRS already on me. Why don't you tell them how you threaten to tell the feds this and that? Tell people that. And why don't you give me my change as far as child support is concerned? Why don't you sell that 5-bedroom, 5-bath house with the waterfall in the back and the swimming pool and the big jacuzzi? Why don't you say that, give me my change? Why don't you sell that big boy Beamer, your BMW you got that I put you in after you didn't want the Porsche no more, after you didn't want the BMW before that, and go back and get that Chrysler Sebring you was driving when I got you. Give me my change from all them $10,000 one-of-one bags and Versace chains and all them dresses that you didn't know nothing about and them Louboutins. Give me my change from my furniture that you still sleeping on. Did you buy new sheets? Huh? All them TVs and everything in the house? Why don't you give me my change? Because I ain't working no more. I'm not on TV. I don't have an image to protect. I'm not getting a TV check. I don't have to answer the OWN. OWN can't call me no more. I'm like, Tim, don't say this, Tim. Be nice because, Tim, we got to protect the brand. It's good for the show. I ain't got to protect the check no more. I ain't got that no more. So I ain't got it. The people probably going to say I owe you about 400 or so. I ain't got it. Why don't you sell some of that stuff and give me my change? Why don't you tell the people how you used to come up? Why don't you tell the people to call down to the marquee and ask Andre and Melanie how they used to put you out of the club when you come in there and try to start fights with me? How they have to call the police on you and you outside on the parking lot kicking my car? Huh? Why don't you tell them how I used to call people over to the house, call my security over there, you taking hammers to my car? I can't leave. You coming to the restaurant messing with me. Why don't you tell them how when we was in Beverly Hills with the whole family out here with all these white folks and you drunk in the lobby, they got to pull you up off of me. You taking my money out of my bags and throwing my money all over the lobby. They got to go to your mother's room and get your mother to come stop you. Why don't you tell that? Why don't you tell all that? And why don't you tell them how the reason I left you in the first place was because you decided to sleep with the help. You slept with the cameraman. Why don't you tell them that? On in Pilgrim, we had to get a whole new TV crew around season 3 because you slept with the cameraman. Shout out to Jose. I ain't got no ill feelings towards you, bro. She needed some attention. You gave her that. But you was with the boss, but you slept with the help. So that's why I left in the first place. And I didn't turn back. And every time we didn't want to film with you, you threatened to take my son. You would let my son film. That's the only reason you was still on the show. And my mama forgave you. My mama forgave you because she loved that baby. So I stayed quiet, and they let you film, because I was trying to be a good dude. Even though my mama forgave you, Monique and everybody else forgave you. I ain't never forgive you. Why don't you tell them how you were never, my son was never even on the last season of the show at all. Money could have went towards his college fund. They want to bring him to L.A. He can't come unless you come. He can't come to Houston unless you come. We got a family trip down to Orlando. You come on down to Orlando. You wouldn't let my son film with me. Why don't you tell them that? I begged you for years to see my son. I begged you. I've been patient all this time, hoping you get over it. I was happy you had a new guy. I pray you stop thinking about my ass. But you got a new guy and you still calling me, crying, snotty nose. The night before your wedding, you called me crying, snotty nose. I told you about there and married that Duke. He's a good guy. I ain't never heard nothing bad about that man, so I ain't said a word about him being around my son. Ain't not one person told me nothing bad about that dude. He's supposed to be a good dude. So I've been quiet, trying to give you your time. But now you want to take him from my mama? And my family can't see him either? You want to put me out to the world to be a bad guy? And people ask why Monique ain't dealing. Where's Monique? How come Monique don't stop the Monique? You want to run around town act like you a business person? Why don't you tell everybody I started that business? I put up all the money, got the paperwork done. That business is for Monique. And you took half the money. You took half the money from Monique and you had Monique doing all the work. And then you took the money and went and opened a gym for your guy. Well, this is cool. No problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Monique just separated herself. You know what I'm saying? We separated and got Monique a whole new business. She good. Why don't you tell the people how every time Monique had a new guy, somebody she was talking to, you creep behind her back and deal with the new guy she talking to. That's why Monique don't deal with you. Why don't you run and tell all that? Huh? You don't want to tell all that, do you? You want to do the first thing a lot of women do nowadays when they upset. They want to say, man.
Well, he's angry. But we know better, because Tim's word means absolutely nothing when it comes to anyone's reputation, with the reputation that he's earned. All in pursuit of money, providing us with a sobering reminder of what the love of money can yield. Also in an update, Wally Yanam's sentencing has been pushed back to November 1st due to a scheduling conflict. When he is scheduled, I will let you all know. The good news is that by the end of 2022, the pursuit of justice for the dearly departed Andre Montgomery will be rendered to all parties involved in the orchestration of his demise. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and if you haven't already, remember to like the videos as it helps to support our channel. Subscribe and turn on your notification bell, and remember to watch when you're notified. It really helps our channel grow and reach larger audiences. And stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.